And welcome, everybody, to the very first I'll Hang Up and Listen that has officially not been a part of the drought. Did I say that right, Curls? The drought's over. Drought is officially over.
Episode of the show where the Sabres have clinched the playoffs.
Yes. And the show has been going on now for nearly 6 years. And this is the first time we can say, woo! The Buffalo Sabres are going to the Stanley Cup playoffs, even though they just got shelled 6-2. Anyways, Hurls, I was overcome with emotions all day between losing my dog, thinking I lost my dog. There's a funny story behind that. Scrambling for 2 hours, running with a bad leg, like limp running, and then finding her, and then finally being able to celebrate with all of you guys. Just a really wave of emotions. So I'll let you, before we get into our ad reads, like kind of get into, I saw you got some love from the Sabres during their fan videos. That was pretty cool. But just your first thoughts coming into this, just put that game we just watched aside, that turd burger of a game. That game that was probably a good, like, living embodiment of that Bills jersey that was just released. I think that is a good comparison. Give us your thoughts.
Yeah, it's an emotional day. I think that weirdly, I didn't know waking up this morning that those two games, the Red Wings game and the Senators game, I didn't know that was a possibility. I didn't see too many people talking about it yesterday. If I was truly in tune with every single scenario, I think a lot of us would have been more, I would say, vocal about it, that if the Red Wings lost or the Senators lost, that the Sabres would have clinched prior to tonight's game.
Yes.
Maybe that was just coming out of that loss on Thursday. Obviously, that was really emotional. And personally, I didn't know. So I woke up at 11:30 West Coast time today, and I wake up to a couple texts, and people are like, the Sabres can clinch if the Red Wings lose, and they're down 2-0 going into the third period. And I was just like, oh my God. So I had to get ready, watch the end of the Red Wings Rangers game. Really cool that Jonathan Quick was the goalie that was in net. He is 40 years old. He's been around the league for a long time. 2 Stanley Cups, one of the best American goalies to ever live. He played a really good game tonight and unfortunately didn't get the shutout, but it was cool to watch another team help get the Sabres in, just like we did with the Bills at the end of their 17-year drought. Someone mentioned online to me that the situations are different because had the Bengals not won, then the Sabres would have been out of it. Obviously, that's not the case here, but it was cool that going into this game tonight, they didn't need to win to get in. That monkey was off their back, proverbially, and they played like it. But prior to the game, I think all of us were overcome with the same emotion that we would have had on Thursday night had they beaten the Senators. It is so much relieved stress. It is so, I would say, meaningful to have gone through those 15 calendar years and 14 seasons, and now finally 100% without any anxiousness, without any anxiety, any shred of a doubt that they are going to be playing a playoff game. At this point, we don't know whether it's going to be at home. We don't know whether it's going to be on the road. We don't know who it's going to be. These next 5 games really, really matter, especially the game on Monday against the Lightning. But I think the thing that matters most, even considering the loss, even considering the past few games, or even the past 12 games, is that they're in. And that means so much, especially considering where they were in early December to start the season. So we can all celebrate that, even tonight, knowing that, yes, they're not playing their best right now, but they're in, and we can go from there.
Well, before I get to my thoughts, I just want to give a shout out to our sponsors. Shout out to Fatty Beer Company, Western New York's premier market and tap room, of course, with over 300 beers to choose from at 7 different Western New York locations. If you need a beer, get on over to Fatty Beer. Let them know we sent you from 2 Goalies, 1 Mike. No better place to celebrate the end of a 14-year playoff drought than a Fatty Beer location. And again, make sure you tell them that the boys over at 2 goalies, 1 Mike sent you. And of course, shout out to our sponsor at Extreme Discount Mattress, with West New York's finest selection of mattresses and adjustable beds, featuring the cool gel memory foam, 2-sided mattress, Tele latex, organic mattress, Chatham Wells, and of course, Scott Living, all for 1/3 to half the supposed sale prices anywhere. So stop in the other 7 locations across West New York. Go check out their website, extrememattress.com. If you're looking for more savings, check out their new closeout center at 1625 Walden Avenue in Cheektowaga with up to 80% off their already low prices. You save a fortune on one-of-a-kinds, closeouts, and floor samples. Get a quality mattress for literally pennies on the dollar. Extreme Discount Mattress. We sell mattresses for less, a lot less. And remember, if you mention you're a fan of 2 goalies, 1 Mike, you get yourself a free mattress protector with any purchase of a mattress. So make sure, again, that you let them know that you're a fan and take a chance. Who doesn't want a free mattress protector if you buy a mattress? I mean, I'd take one in a heartbeat. I have lost my voice, not because I was screaming, even though there's a good chance I would have been when it was made official the Sabres had clinched a playoff spot. I posted on earlier today that my dog had gone missing. I have like a gated in yard hurls. So like, I let them all, I let excuse me, all 3 dogs out, mine, my 2 and her dog Pearl. And I opened the door and only 2 are there. And I'm like, oh, okay. So sometimes she takes a second to come in. Wasn't responding to her name, wasn't doing anything. So I started to freak out, called the city of Tonawanda dog dispatch or whatever the heck it is. Let them know it's a small city. So, cops don't have a lot to do. And I should say cops didn't have a lot to do, but they were on the lookout for her. And then just started frantically searching all over the city of Tonawanda, running, like after frantically searching my yard. And she was nowhere to be found. And after all 2 hours of searching, my neighbor, for the lack of a better way of saying it, is a hoarder, really big time hoarder. Like, I'm telling you, like, the guy should be on that show Hoarders. If you did an estate sale at his house, you could probably put a down payment on a house. He's got a big shopping network problem. Has a ton of stuff that he buys that he's never even opened from the past 10 years. Like, for reference, I have a gun safe in my garage I'm storing for him. He's never once opened it, and it's been there for 10 years. Anyways, I had a hunch that you might have been underneath some of his stuff because we share a driveway and he has his side a lot and I have my side. And sure as shit, Hurls, I start peeling away some of his random stuff that's on his side. And she's just sitting there staring at me, wagging her tail back and forth, wagging it. And the biggest sense of relief came over me after I grabbed her, hugged her. And anyone who owns a dog knows what this feeling's like when you think you lost your dog. It was absolutely an awful feeling. And then I was able to finally celebrate with the rest of you guys. And that was my day. And that's why I don't have a voice right now, because I was screaming Daisy over and over and over and over. I probably said her name about 1,000 times today, up and down Niagara Street, up and down the waterfront, and all my side streets. So that is why I don't have a voice. My thoughts are this, and we're gonna get into this game too. It's clear as day. Actually, I want to ask you a question, Hurls. Is it fair to say that had they not clinched with that Rangers win, that they would have came out a little bit better out of the gates today?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. I don't think that they played as badly as they did to begin this game because they clinched. I don't think there is a direct correlation there. I just think that the Capitals are desperate, and the Sabres haven't played desperate for the past 10 games. They haven't. Even on that West Coast,
I agree with that.
They played well, but it's not the same level of intensity that they had following the Olympic break, prior to the Olympic break, throughout the month of January and throughout the month of December. They're not playing with that intensity that they needed to get back into this position where they are as comfortable as they are, which I would say comfortability and overconfidence can be a death sentence. It really can. And I think that there was a combination of, it's been a tough couple games here. They had some travel in between Thursday, got into Washington late, and they're facing another desperate team that needed to win to get back into playoff position. And they were not at their best off the jump. They were in their own defensive zone. Washington was tough around the front of the net. They were cleaning up rebounds. A lot of people are talking about Alex Lyon right now. Tonight, I
Zero
can
slander. Zero Alex
you-
Lyon slander.
tell you without a shred of a doubt that Lindy pulled him to change the momentum as a coach does in these situations. And these aren't soft goals. These are rebounds. These are one-timers in front of the net. This is Logan Stanley choosing the wrong defender to cover and then not covering the guy on the back door. That was not online tonight. And I don't think people should think that he is off his game or it's representative of how he's been later in the season. I think he's going to get back at it, and we will be able to trust him down the stretch here. But yeah, no, it's tough right now. They are not playing well at all, and they really need to look in the mirror and figure out the type of game that got them in this position for a playoff game on Monday at home against the Lightning following that 8-7 game last month. That is a critical game. That is a playoff game that will either solidify their fate as likely in second or third spot in the Atlantic, not winning the division, or puts them in a position to actually win the division and do the thing that we all want them to, and which is what we were trending towards for 2 to 3 straight weeks. So they really have to look in the mirror and figure it out.
Yeah, and I'd even go as far as to say, like, Monday is for the division. I think that's for the division. I really do. Like, I think, like, huge momentum game. It's a 4-point swing game. I'm not sure. Are they 2 points ahead of us now in the standings?
Yeah, I think they won.
Yeah, I thought so too. So, yeah, I think Monday is for the division personally. We got the best of them last time after, a very, a game that I attended that was incredible. But it'd be interesting to see how the lineup shakes out going into Monday, because
I mean,
if we're being honest, like, it's not just the Lightning. The Canadians are
1-8
tied
in a row. Yeah.
Yeah, 1-8 in a row, 9-1 in their last 10, tied with the Sabres at 100 points, and they have a game in hand. So this is not just the Sabres at this point. This is both teams at the top of the Atlantic, along with the Sabres, and this could get dicey really quickly. I don't think they're not at risk of likely not at risk of falling back into a wild card spot, because the Bruins have 94 points. They're 6 points ahead of the Bruins with 5 games to play. So it would take an epic collapse to fall out of third spot in the Atlantic. But yeah, I think a variety of different scenarios can happen here. And Monday is the impetus. You need to play well on Monday if you expect to win the division or even compete for the second spot, because otherwise I really do believe it's going to be the third spot when you're going to start on the road. You're going to start likely either in Montreal or Tampa, and I don't think anybody wants that.
No, definitely not, man. Barely a week ago, we were talking about that the division was theirs to lose. And I mean, are the old habits from that we saw in October and November creeping back into their game? Is this fatigue? Is it, injuries? I mean, your thoughts on the Logan Stanley thing so far? Because I see a lot of chatter of it online. I mean, I've kind of been trying to give him some leash, given the fact that he is a very different defenseman that we didn't have on this team before. So maybe it takes a while for a guy like him to kind of gel in. But I mean, Metsä didn't look great tonight. This is probably his worst game as a Sabre. Logan Stanley, I mean, kind of gives us the same game a night in and night out. Like, if you're Lindy Ruff, how are you shaking up these lines going into Monday? Because you can't roll out the same lineup, I don't think.
I think you got to play Kesselring. I think if it's not Kesselring, it's got to be Timmins. Stanley is not doing it right now. There were multiple instances throughout this game where he was not able to get the puck out of the zone. He is a poor puck handler. He's unaware in front of the net. Everything people complain about Owen Power about, Logan Stanley is 10 times worse. People have made their entire personality zooming into Owen Power during games for some reason, just to find plays where he's not at his best defensively. I think those people are weirdos, to be honest. The OP Owen Power sucks person that's in our comments sometimes. I think he has a similar handle on Twitter. Find a new slant. Find something else to worry about, because Owen Power is not the reason this team sucks right now. Like, it's just unbelievable that people think one of our top 4 defensemen are the problem with this team. They've been the backbone of this team the entire season. And you trade for a guy and force him into the lineup, and clearly he's not a good fit. Whoever he's playing with. Metz has been fine. That pairing's been okay. But him specifically, he's just not playing at the level that is the standard for a playoff hockey team at the moment. And I don't know what the deal is with Kesselring. If he's not hurt, then he's just in Lindy's doghouse. But I really believe they need to get Logan Stanley out of the lineup and try someone new on Monday night. And the injuries to Sam Carrick and Noah Ostlund are massive. They changed the entire forward group significantly. Those were 2 of your most, I would say, highly performing forwards for a period of 2 to 3 weeks following the trade deadline. And without them in the lineup, they changed the line significantly. Jordan Greenway hasn't looked great since he's come back. Tyson Kozak's back in the lineup. And yes, he's fine on the 4th line, but he's not making a huge impact. The injuries are a factor. And your top guys aren't great either. Obviously, Alex Tuck made a great play to Peyton Krebs in the Islanders game, but he's been kind of absent. Aside from that, Josh Norris, Ryan McLeod, Tage hasn't scored in a few games. Yeah, they're going to need to figure it out because right now it does not look good.
Yeah, and I see it in the chat too, and the chat is going crazy right now, and we appreciate all the interaction and engagement. If don't forget to use the super chat option so it highlights you guys, so we can bring your question up if you have a comment to make. Is it an indictment against Jarmo, the whole Stanley thing, or is I mean, I'm kind of indifferent about that thought because it's like he went for Parayko, he went for Rob Thomas. It didn't work out. Like, who else was there?
It was a backup plan. It was.
Yeah, 100%.
And had Colton Parayko been inserted into this lineup, he would have been on that second pair, likely with Owen Power, and it would have added more depth to the defensive unit. Imagine Rob Thomas on the first line. Like, that would have made the team significantly better. It would have cost a lot, and then maybe it would have cost guys on this team that have contributed all season. They were asking for Bowen Byram. They were probably asking for Jack Quinn. They were asking for Konsta Helenius and Noah Ostlund. Like, these are much more significant additions. But the Logan Stanley thing, I think that he's a good depth piece, and he's fine just in case, but he's not capable of starting at this moment.
Yeah, he's kind of, in my opinion, almost played himself out of this lineup.
Yeah,
and there's no other way to say it. Like, and listen, I like Logan Stanley. It's a difficult position to be put in. I mean, you want to talk about polar opposite types of coaches than what he had in Winnipeg to Lindy Ruff here in Buffalo.
And it's not easy to learn a new system either.
No, it's not. And I mean, he's never played with any of these guys other than Luke Shen, who's only played 2 games for Buffalo.
But I will say though, like, what we're watching right now supports the numbers that people posted once the trade happened. He's been bad in his own end for a couple of years now. And the shooting percentage.
Oh, yeah. I'm not trying to say that, like,
the shooting percentage made him more. The shooting percentage made him more attractive this season because he had 12 goals, but we haven't seen that either. So
no, he barely shoots the puck as it is.
If that's the reason you traded for the guy, or the length, or the ability to fight, which some people believe is the reason that he should be in the lineup, which is also insane. I think that if you're not getting the higher end contribution or the production, then the defensive irresponsibility and the inability to move the puck out of his defensive zone, he definitely can't skate it out like the top 4 can. No. And he's also giving it away. And he's too slow with his feet sometimes to get back, and which we've seen in multiple instances of egregious turnovers. So yeah, I hope it's Kesselring on Monday. I really do. But I don't know.
I also want to make this clear. We're not putting this all on Logan Stanley. Like, your leaders got to show up. Your goal scorers need to show up.
When a team's in a funk, you have to identify things that aren't working, and that's one example.
100%. Yeah. We're just not going to use him as a scapegoat, though. Like,
there's a reason that they've gone 4-2 in their past 12. But
like, that's to say, like the people who try and
improve the team.
No. I've been out. You know me. I've been calling for Kesselring for 2 weeks now. Like, he needs to be back in this lineup, and he was playing fine before Lindy took him out. we've heard a lot of like back and forth stuff. He's injured. He's not healthy. And then we hear that he is healthy. We hear that he's in the doghouse. We hear this, that. We're not really too sure what the hell is going on with him. But if he is even like not quite 100%, pretty damn close, I need him in the lineup on Monday, because that like what we just said, that could really determine the division, or at least if you're going to finish in first or second. And the way I'm seeing, I can't have Logan Stanley out there unless Logan Stanley is out there because you're afraid that you're going to have round two.
If there were going to be, if there was going to be any game, maybe it's Monday, just because coming off what happened in 8-7, right? Like, I don't expect it to be.
Well, I know, but I can't expect it to happen given what's on the line.
But also, like, if Brandon Hagel is in the lineup, Sam Carrick's not out there. Who's gonna fight? You don't want Beck Malliston fighting. You don't want.
You think Zach Metza comes out?
No. What I'm saying though is that, like, you probably there's a chance they'll run back that same lineup they did tonight and have Stanley and Carrick.
So hard.
And have Stanley in there just in case there are more fights, right? Like, or maybe dress 7 defensemen and 11 forwards. I'm not sure. I don't think that's a good idea either. I don't know. I would also like to see Tanner Pearson personally. I think that Jordan Greenway has been hurt most of the year. Obviously, the guys in the room love him. He's been with the team for a few years now, but at least see what you have with Pearson. I actually liked when he played that first game. He had a couple opportunities in the offensive zone. He's been in the league for a long time. He's a veteran. He's responsible. I think putting him on that fourth line, even maybe in place of Tyson Kozak, that could be an option as well. You got to try a few new things. Obviously, they tried Josh Dunn the other night, and then they brought him back out. I don't know. I think to get out of this funk, they changed up the lines a little bit. You're going to need to try new things, and especially against a team like the Lightning on Monday night.
Yeah, listen, even you said dressing 7 defensemen. Like, I'm thinking about that. Like, what forward could you take out of the lineup if you were to do that?
Yeah, I mean, Tyson Kozak played tonight. Jordan Greenway played tonight. You could easily take either of those guys out.
I wouldn't hate that. Honestly, I wouldn't hate that.
Yeah, I wouldn't. If you
then somebody in your fourth line, you know what I mean? That you just double shifting a couple different guys a little bit more, which is fine. If
you think Monday is going to go like it did a month ago, I think you need Stanley in the lineup.
Yeah, I think you're right. Getting back to the Alex Lyon thing, which I want to preemptively say, I'm a ride or die with Lyon guy, regardless of who starts game one. Like, he is one of the biggest reasons we made the playoffs this year. Hence why I wanted to get a jersey that when we felt pretty confident we were going to break the playoff drought, that really encapsulated this season. I'm not afraid to buy a jersey of a guy who might only be here for a year. So I went out and I have one custom made, and I'm going to show you guys all right now. Check it out.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. The Lion King. Got it done. Only took a week and a half for me to get it in. So I made the decision a couple weeks ago that I'm going to try my best for any current or former NHL goalie we have on this podcast. I'm going to get their jersey. Like, just going to get it. So Olaf Kolzig is next on my list.
And I think, Ole the goalie. I think that Monday's a big night for UPL. Yes. I think he's been great recently, but if UPL plays well on Monday night and they beat the Lightning, I think there's a chance he almost solidifies game one. I do.
Yeah. And he struggled last time against the Lightning. He did not up until the last 10 minutes of the third period. He did not have a good game.
Even like mentally and emotionally for him, it's a huge game. So we'll see what happens. But there are 5 games to go, and UPL is not going to play all of them, of course. And I think Lion's going to get another opportunity, whether that be so who will be after the Lightning on Monday? We've got the Rangers on Wednesday and the Blue Jackets.
Last game of the season in Dallas. I know that. And we got the Rangers, which I'll be in attendance for.
Rangers on Wednesday, Blue Jackets on Thursday, back to back. So I would imagine we'll get UPL on Monday, Lion on Wednesday, UPL on Thursday, and then the final 2 games of the season. If they can't change their positioning at all, maybe Ellis gets one of those games. I'm not sure. But yeah, Monday's a huge game for UPL. It's a huge game for the team. But I think he can somewhat solidify the game 1 start if he has a huge game. I do believe that. I do have to go. I've got a dinner reservation. Final thoughts for me, obviously not great, but I think everybody can comfortably celebrate the end of a 15-year drought, regardless of the result. Everybody in this chat who's a fan of the team, who has watched some of these horrible games over these past 5 to 10 years, you've all earned it. I think we've all earned it. And you can celebrate comfortably knowing that the team is in and that these playoffs are going to be a celebration for the city of Buffalo and for the great hockey fans of Western New York. I will be there in Buffalo to join you all. It's going to be one of the best moments in my lifetime from a sports perspective.
Did you get your tickets already?
Not yet. I'm in the process of trying to figure it out how that's going to happen.
Let's talk because I may have a couple tickets.
Okay. All right. Well,
lined up for us.
We'll figure it all out. But in general, I think try not to worry about the game tonight or the past couple of games and just celebrate an achievement, which we've all been looking forward to for like 14 or 15 years. So have some fun, drink responsibly, like myself, and we'll see you on Monday for the biggest game of the season.
Well, biggest game of the season. I don't know.
At this point, I mean, I personally think it is.
I would say the first. I think it is. Yeah, because I think we've known for a while they're going to make the playoffs. So
for sure, like this.
I'll agree with you there. That it is the biggest game of the season. I will agree with you there.
I mean, the first Lightning game was the biggest game of the season, and now this is as well because the stakes are even higher.
If you lose on Monday, you fucking pack your shit when it comes to think about winning the division.
Exactly. So it's massive, and I think that barn's going to be pretty rowdy. So looking forward to it, and we'll see you guys on Monday.
Well, let you get out of here, Hurls. Peace out. Let me bring up the proper overlay. There we go. Yeah, man. Monday is huge. I'll be in attendance. Going with my good buddy Mike Carr, and then I'll be there on Wednesday for Sabres versus Rangers. My first time ever going to be in Madison Square Garden. Listen, all things considered, today was like a pretty emotional day, without a doubt. Like, if you're a dog owner, you know what it's like if you can't find your dog. Like, the worst possible scenarios run through your head. You know, you can't buy a car, or this, that, the other. So, like, I felt when I felt the relief of finding her and knowing that she was okay, the straight euphoria of knowing that playoff drought was done and over with. We got that monkey off our back. The elephant was finally out of the room, and we could finally move on from that and put it in the rearview mirror. I got to get on Twitter and see how excited everybody was, and I wish I could have been there with you guys in real time. But like I said, I went down to Alumni Plaza. I'm sure you guys, if you follow me on Twitter, you saw the video from earlier today. I did one from Alumni Plaza, kind of giving you all my reaction. And again, for picking up this jersey, it was just like, yeah, like, yes, finally, it's over. It's finally fucking over, and we could just move forward and move past this shit and stop. Listen to people shit talk this team. My only regret here, and some of you may not agree, is I always said when this team finally makes the playoffs, I just want to play the Leafs in the playoffs. I want to play the Leafs so badly in the playoffs because it would be so chef's kiss to not just make the playoffs, but send the Leafs home in the first round or the second round. I mean, that would have made this the perfect season. It really would have. Unless you're talking about winning the Stanley Cup, then yeah, that's the perfect season. But I would have loved to have like faced off with the Leafs in the playoffs and sent those what's the stuff called that they put on their fries? Those poutine swilling dorks back to Toronto. Would have been just amazing. Yeah, and just kind of thinking back to like all the seasons of just going through the same bullshit narratives and, kind of like if you listen to the audio only of this show, we play we play a song at the end of every episode, whether it's two goalies or two goalies on mic, or I'll hang up and listen. It's called Not Another Adult Contemporary. It's by a local band called Snakeland. Some of you who are, day oneers for two goalies on mic, remember who producer Steve is. He's the drummer of that band. He's part of the two goalie one mic family. And there's a line like at the very end of the song, they repeated it over and over again. It says, maybe next year, one more time. And that's what it's felt like with this hockey team year after year after year. Come Thanksgiving, come Christmas, come the trade deadline. It's maybe next year, one more time. And it's so euphoric and so nice. And here's the thing. This has been a really wacky year for me specifically, with me kind of breaking my leg the way I did. And it's been emotional because for as long as I can remember, I've played hockey like almost every single year, at least minimum once a week since I was 11. Before that, I was playing street hockey with my friends or in the driveway with my brother. And now with this leg injury and what happened to me, it's like now I don't have that. And I don't know if I ever will have it again. And this has been my outlet. Like hockey is a huge playing hockey. I mean, before I broke my leg, I was like, and I know some people, you can come back from a broken leg. Well, I mean, mine was pretty traumatic. It broke in 3 different places. Got a titanium rod. It's been over a year, and I still feel a lot of pain. I'm going in for a second surgery actually to have some of the screws removed, so hopefully that helps with the pain. But like, there is a realistic chance I may never be able to play at the level that I want to play at again. And if I can't play at that level, like, or if I feel like I'm risking injury again, then I just might hang them up. I don't know. So like this team specifically this year and the way they've played and being able to grow this platform and this channel with all of you guys, that has kind of replaced that outlet for me. Because, I have friends that I still play hockey with, but like the guys on my team, those are my hockey friends. Those are the guys I see and don't really hang out with them as much, as that you would away from the rink. You see them a couple times a week at hockey. And to not have that feeling, as dumb as it sounds, even with it being beer league, like to not have that, it has sucked a lot. It really, really has. But in the same breath, like I feel like even though you guys aren't physically here with me, like we can sit here and we can just talk puck and it's been a nice replacement for me. And that I think is one of the things I think I might appreciate the most about this particular season is because it has been a very mentally and physically taxing year for me. To not have those things that I had for such a long time. Yeah, it's to not be able to play like to not have that, to suit up with the guys and just go to the rink. And it sucks. It really, really does. And I'm grateful to have this channel and this platform with all of you guys. And that's a big reason why this team has felt as special as it is, because it's really somewhat replaced what I feel like I've lost. And I'm grateful for that. I really, really am. Because if we would have had to go through another season like we have in years past, man, I don't know. Yeah, the depression might have set in, and this would have been really, really difficult for me. And I appreciate you all so much. I'm really grateful for you all. I'm grateful that this channel has grown the way it is because of all of you, whether it's through your likes, your comments, your shares, your word of mouth, and obviously with the team playing as well as they have been. That has helped immensely, immensely. So I couldn't be more grateful. And like I said earlier, the other day on Twitter, like when I kind of reposted the WGR call, I kind of said that, it's not exactly my favorite drought moment because I mean, I don't like to look at negative things as drought moment, like as my favorite thing about what has happened with this hockey team in the last 14 years. But I will say what came from that, what was born from that, this podcast was reborn because of what happened that day with NGR and just some of the people I've gotten to meet along the way. Whether you recognize myself from the podcast, you reached out on Twitter, maybe we met up and got a drink. We met up at a Sabres game. It's genuinely felt like a big family that I've gained with a lot of you guys. And that's why when I look back on that day 6 years ago, it was fun. Yeah. For, a couple week or two, the whole We Are All Duane thing. But I think what I appreciated most about it was what we gained here. All of this. And that has meant a lot to me. It really, really, really has. And I appreciate the hell out of all of you. And it can't be understated. It can't be. And I'm proud of hell of what we built here. And for hopefully many more years to come. And listen, regardless of what happens here come the playoffs, hopefully they kind of get their heads out of their asses here and figure this out and play playoff caliber hockey, or we lose in 5 or 6 games. This has been such a fun season. And I genuinely know that this isn't just like a one and done thing for this franchise. We know that this GM is willing to take big swings. He went for Robert Thomas. He went for Colton Parayko. It didn't work out. Yeah, we went and got Logan Stanley as the consolation prize, and a lot of people were indifferent and happy about it. And now it's looking not so great. Well, that's yet to be determined. We'll see. But just grateful as hell for this season and what it's meant to me and what it's meant to all you. So I'm not going to stick around for too much longer here. Shout out to all of you. Thank you, Chris, for the kind words. Amen. Here led to be okay with letting go sometimes. I had to fix matters with the sport because it's ruined me at times, and appreciate how awesome season been, even sitting back and relaxing. Yeah, it's surgery, me up and nerve damage now. They want to put us. Oh, wow, man. I feel it for you, Michael. I really do. Anything with your spine, that's scary. Starting on the road would be the most depressing thing after waiting 15 years. We appreciate you and the community you've created for all of us, Duane. And listen, I appreciate all of you. This is so much easier to do knowing that you guys are here after every game. It really is. And regardless of how this game went, again, it's time to get our heads out of our asses and start playing playoff caliber hockey. It'll help to get healthy with Austin and Carrick. We'll see. I think Carrick's a gamer, man. I mean, he'll play with an arm break. He'll play with a half an arm if he has to, if it means playing in the playoffs. So, and he's that type of guy. I saw Dan Anderson. I saw you ask in the earlier if anyone's going to the airport. I think I might. I don't know yet. Depending on weather when I look out there, but I did prepare to consider doing that. And I think this team deserves it. They do. And I hope people show up for them. So there's shout out my sponsors again. Thank you again to Fatty Beer Company, Western New York's premier market and tap room with over 300 beers to choose from at 7 different Western New York locations. If you need a beer, get on over to Fatty Beer. Let them know since you have 2 goalies and Mike. Keep your eyes and ears open for more information on the Fatty Beer watch party at the Lancaster location, shutting down all of Main Street and putting up 2 giant TV screens at the end of each street to watch the game, their first away game. That is not the first game, but the first away game. Street vendors, food trucks. I mean, the works. We did this for the Bills. And it was a great turnout, especially we had like over 1,000 people out there. The first game we did for the Bills when the weather was still nice. So I hope that we have a similar turnout, for the Sabres, because this team has earned it, no doubt. And we should show up for this team, no doubt. So keep your eyes and ears open for more information regarding that. And regardless, stopping over to Fatty Beer and letting them we sent you. And of course, Extreme Discount Mattress with Western New York's finest selection of mattresses and adjustable beds. They have 7 Western New York locations, and you can find them at extrememattress.com. That is Extreme with an X. They also have a new closeout center at 1625 Walden Avenue in Cheektowaga. With the 80% off their already low prices. You can save a fortune on one-of-a-kind closeouts and floor samples. You get a quality mattress for literally pennies on the dollar. Extreme Discount Mattress. We sell mattresses for less, a lot less. And remember, if you mention that you're a fan of Two Goalies, One Mike, get yourself a free, yes, I said free mattress protector with the purchase of any mattress. And I can tell you right now, we did a live episode about a little week ago, Two Goalies, One Mike. We did a pregame show for the Islanders game. Me, Joey Cons Jr., making his return to the program. And we did the show from one of their adjustable beds. And I can tell you right now, man, these things, it's like laying on a cloud. It's fantastic, and the prices can't be beat. So make sure you check them out. If any of you have any final thoughts you want to get in before I get out of here, please get them in. Again, use that super chat option if you would be so kind. And yeah, I'm gonna actually I'll read the post game quotes here from after the game via Brian Koziel before we dip out. But yeah, Sabres lose 6-2 today in what I consider kind of one of those toss it in the trash things, because they looked like they were just complete passengers from the jump, and not exactly the way you want to play after clinching a playoff spot for the first time in 14 years, especially with how ride or die these fans have been with you all year. But I'm willing to give them a pass. Ruff said their defensive zone coverage was not good, said they were circling a lot, and also didn't finish offensive chances. Ruff says when you cheat on offense, it hurts you. Ruff says they're not breaking the puck out well at all, and the turnovers end up in your net. Ruff says Monday versus Tampa might be what they need to bring the energy intensity back to their game. Tuck says the power play has to be better. Both units do. They need to attack more. Tuck says the defensive effort was poor tonight. They let both goalies hang out to dry tonight. Says they have been so good for them all year. They have to be better, be better support. Tuck says getting back to KeyBank Center on Monday, they hope they will get the jolt they need. Tayshawn says, I've got to be better. It starts with me. Says the D-zone play was putrid. Tuck says that the Tampa game is going to be a big one. Says these last 2 games, no one is happy with their effort. Says it's a great opportunity to respond. Thompson says it's not just good enough. It's just not good enough to get in. We want to do something special. Says now that they've reached the goal of making the playoffs, the standard is raised and they want more now. Says they never want to be just satisfied. And that was from inside the locker room, brought to you by Fatty Beer Company. Yeah, I tend to agree with all that. Yeah, I am baffled that they bailed tonight. And the power play was putrid. Like they said, effort wasn't good at all. Yeah, so we will talk to you guys on Monday for I'll Hang Up and Listen, and then another episode of Two Goalies on Mike on Tuesday. Actually, it might be back to back. And we'll see. I think it's a back to back, right? No. They Monday and then they play Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, so we'll have an episode of Two Goalies on Mike, and then we will have I'll Hang Up and Listen on Wednesday and I'll Hang Up and Listen on Thursday. But we'll be doing I'll Hang Up and Listen on Wednesday from New York City. Isn't that exciting? We'll talk to you guys later. Oh, if you've enjoyed this podcast, please make sure you're subscribed for audio only. We are on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your audio only podcast. We are on Twitter. You can find myself at Duane S39. That's at DUANES39. You can find my co-host Connor Hurley at CHurls13. You can find the podcast itself at Two Goalies, One Mike. We are on Facebook and Instagram as well, those same handles. You can find us on YouTube. Just got to search Two Goalies, One Mike. I can see most of you are watching on YouTube. Some of you on Facebook too. Please smash that like button. Please make sure you're subscribed. Turn your notifications on so you know when we go live. hit the little bell icon. I appreciate you all so much. I really do look forward to these post games after every game, win, lose, or draw. Well, obviously not draw. Get the Warpath shot. Sabres on a Warpath. Yeah, for sure. We'll talk to you guys later. And as always, let's get cup crazy and go Sabres.